Yeah, good morning. Okay, I call this meeting to order at 9:04 a.m. Pretend I have a gavel. I will now read the land acknowledgement. Associated Students recognizes and acknowledges the first people of this ancestral and unceded territory of Fernandino Tatavian Band of Mission Indians that is now occupied by our campus of California State University Northridge. Honors their elders, past and present, and the descendants who are citizens of the Fernandino Tatavian Band of Mission Indians. Associated Students recognizes that the tribe is still here, and we are committed to lifting up their stories, culture, and community. I will now pass it to Government Secretary Moss for the roll call.
Okay. Vice President Khan,
Here.
Senator Aronson,
Here.
Senator Basilio,
Here.
Senator Gali.
Here.
You say it into the mic.
Here. Here.
Thank you. Senator Gavino, Senator Geminiano Aragon,
Here.
Senator Harris, Senator Covenia, Senator Larios, Senator Miyoshi,
Here.
Senator Nadi Pudi,
Here.
Senator Nunez,
Here.
Senator Olgun,
Here.
Senator Perez,
Here.
Senator Pulliam, Senator Toledo Carranza,
Here.
Senator Tran. We have quorum.
Before we move on to the approval of the agenda, I want to acknowledge Senate Bill 2017-18015, AS Genocide Remembrance Day. AS Genocide Remembrance Day calls for a few resolved, and one of them is informing the senators and cabinet members about the past genocides in places such as the Democratic Republic of Congo, Armenia, Germany, Cambodia, Rwanda, Bosnia, Darfur, and Burma, Myanmar. And of course, recently Palestine. We will now be holding a moment of silence. Thank you. I will now read the definition of genocide and mass atrocities. Genocide is any of the following acts committed with intent to destroy in whole or in part a national, ethnic, racial, or religious group, such as killing members of the group, causing serious bodily or mental harm to members of the group, deliberately inflicting on the group conditions of life calculated to bring about its physical destruction in whole or part, imposing measures intended to prevent births within the group, forcibly transferring children of the group to another group. And you can read further about this resolution on our AS Wiki. It's Senate Bill 2017-18015. We will now move on to the approval of the agenda. Is there a motion? Senator Basilio?
I move to approve the agenda for April 7th, 2025.
Is there a second? Senator Perez. All right. If there are no objections to this motion, or is there any discussion? Seeing none, if there are no objections to this motion, it will be approved. Is there any objections? The approval of the agenda has been approved. All right, we'll now move on to the approval of the minutes. Is there a motion? Senator Nunez.
I move to approve the minutes of March 24th, 2025.
Is there a second? Senator Toledo Carranza. Is there any discussion? All right, seeing none, if there are no objections, this will be approved. Are there any objections? Seeing none, this is approved. Sorry I'm going so slow. I don't chair meetings ever. We have no special presentations today. We will now move on to open forum. Open forum is intended as an opportunity for any member of the public to address the Associated Student Senate regarding any issues affecting CSUN students. Speakers are allowed 3 minutes each to speak. Please sign in using the clipboard for minute recording purposes. Hey, James.
It's been a while since I've been here. Good morning, everybody. For those of you who don't know, my name is James Forster. I serve as the AS Programs Manager. I'm just here today to give you all a little bit of a snapshot of what we have for the rest of the semester here, now that we have passed essentially the halfway mark. So looking ahead to the remainder of this week, so we actually have two events that will be helping and slash hosting as well. So the first event tomorrow, Farmers Market, will run normal time from 10 to 2:30. From 10 to 2 in the square, we'll be doing a collaboration with the California Climate Action Corps group that's hosted with the Institute of Sustainability. So they'll be out in the Farmers Market in the square doing some stuff there too. So you can expect to see that tomorrow at the Farmers Market. And then on Wednesday, the Institute for Sustainability is also hosting the EV car show. So our team will be out there tabling and kind of promoting that, as well as doing some cool giveaways there at that event. The EV car show is from 10 to 3 over on OST Lawn next to the Sustainability Center, for those of you who don't know. So you'll be able to find us in both of those locations this week. Jumping ahead to next week, we just have one event, which is a collaboration with student leadership. So we'll have our farmers market from 10 to 2, or 10 to 2:30, and then there's also the DEI market as well. So we'll look forward to hopefully seeing most of you all there as well. Looking ahead to week 13, we'll have two events. So we'll have our final refill and repair event on April 22nd. That's also Earth Day, fun fact, that week, which means then on Thursday, the 24th, will be our annual Earth Fair event that we'll host out on Baramian Lawn. And then just looking ahead to week 14, we'll have Grad Bash, our farmers market, as well as there's the AS end of the year celebration, which I encourage you all to attend. And then finally, week 15, we'll have 4 events in 4 days. Our final Zara Drag event, our final farmers market of the semester, our Fallen Matador Memorial, as well as the Eco Fashion Expo. So that's kind of a little bit of a snapshot of what you can expect from us and from Productions and Sustainability for the next few weeks. But if you guys have any questions or anything, just shoot me an email, let me know. So thank you all.
Good morning. I'm Kevin Mojardi. I am the Assistant Director of Communications and Programs. And about 2013, I was the marketing manager for Associated Students, and I supervised a student, a very interesting student, kind of okay. His name was Daniel Ramos. I think you all know him. I'm here to announce that he is our new marketing manager, which is kind of special to me because he's basically has my whole job, and I hope he does a good job at it, and I think he will. So give him a lot of applause and send him some love. Congratulations.
Yay, congratulations, Daniel. I've been wanting to congratulate you, but I don't know when personnel board informs you of this. So I was like, can I say anything? But yay.
Hi, everyone. Wanted to comment on, I heard there's a legislative referral today for a bill regarding AS supporting cultural houses on campus. And I just wanted to make a comment. I'm not in MECHA, who's one of the most active voices about this, but I am in YDSA, Young Democratic Socialists of America, and we've been working with MECHA a lot. And I've been hearing from them, as well as, I'm trying to remember, there's a group on campus. Anyways, there's also the Omatsu House, which is the Asian American Studies Cultural House. And I can't remember the name of this student group that hosts events there a lot. But regardless, both of these groups have been complaining a lot that they are struggling to get access to these cultural houses. And as far as we understand, they're meant to be student spaces specifically. And so I'm hoping that AS will move forward with this legislative referral because these are student spaces after all. And so for students to then be denied access to these spaces is a pretty big deal. I think you'll be hearing more about it later, but anyways, thank you so much.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Miller Alas. I am here on behalf of Project Rebound. I have been the student intern for Project Rebound for approximately 2 years now. The biggest concern with our department is that, as if anyone doesn't know, we are a group of students that that are formerly incarcerated. We currently have lost support after our loss of one of our dearly student success coordinators who was there for our students. Our recidivism rate is less than 1% compared to the California state's 47%, meaning higher education does help and does help our students. Since the release of Megan McEwen, who I've worked with hand in hand for 2 years now, we have seen, I have seen the worst situations occur. We have students reoffending. We have students that are checking into mental health institutions, and we also have students that are homeless. Megan was able to assist these students and calm them down. At one point, I had a student living in my apartment, trying to help the student out. Now the student is facing 14 years. I take this very personal because we need to have the right people in charge. We cannot just put anybody in there, and we'll be following up with a bill next week by our Senator Jocelyn Harris. The importance is to understand that our demographic is a very special population. Everybody is different. Every student is different. And my thing as a student intern, it goes beyond that. It's not a student intern position. I feel like more like of a social worker, more than that. I feel like emergency housing at times, which is fine because I am there for support of our students. I put the blinders to everything. Why? Because in my end, the goal is to make sure that they don't reoffend and to graduate. I am a mechanical engineer major here at CISA, and thanks to Project Rebound, I have made a big accomplishments here. I have been certified by the U.S. Department of Energy, and I have completed a successful NASA fellowship with the Autonomy Research Center for STEAM here at CSUN. Success stories like that and opportunities like that are here at CSUN. CSUN is a very supportive university, which I feel that has supported me throughout my stay, and I would like to reemphasize that the importance of having the right people in our department is very vital. Jocelyn Harris, like I mentioned, will be providing a bill for you guys next week, and looking forward to getting approved. And by the way, I was asked to come here last minute, so thank you. Good. Thank you, guys. That's anything?
Please. All right, thank you so much to,
Thank you, guys.
thank you so much to everyone who spoke at Open Forum. I really appreciate it. Now moving on, is there anybody else here for Open Forum that I'm missing? No, awesome. All right, moving on to unfinished business. The first line is to approve the 2025-2026 AS annual budget found on attachment 2. Is there a motion recommending to table this? Senator Nunez?
I move to table to approve the 2025-2026 AS annual budget to next week.
Is there a second? Senator Geminiano Aragon. Thank you. Is there any discussion? Senator Aronson?
Why are we tabling this?
It needs 2 weeks in the Senate. Is there any more discussion? Questions? Yes.
Not question, the mic left open. May I turn it off?
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Denise. Any more discussion? Very short. We also don't have our chair of finance here. We don't have Tim here. We don't have anyone who knows anything about finance here, so this is kind of good that there's barely any discussion. But with that, I will add to discussion and really recommend that if you haven't already, thoroughly read through the annual budget. It will take you a while. Hopefully you can find some time so that next week, if you have any amendments or questions or anything, you can ask the person who actually knows a lot about this, Leslie. So yes, Denise.
Just quickly, if you take a look at the email that Leslie sent, amendments are actually due by the end of this meeting.
So
So if
sorry.
you have any amendments, please make sure that you complete the form by the end of this meeting, and you can send it to Leslie and then CC myself and Madeline.
That is the proper way to go about that, not the way I said. All right, end of the meeting. So yeah, that means you have to get on it, guys. Hopefully this meeting will end a little bit before noon though, so that we can read through it and if you haven't already, and submit those. All right. With no more discussion, we'll move on to a vote. All in favor of tabling the approval of the 2025-2026 annual budget, please raise your hand. All opposed? And all abstained. Thank you. The motion passes unanimously. All right, and now we will move on to line item B to approve the 2025-2026 Code on Finance and Procedures. This can be approved today, Denise, or should we table it? Recommendation to table. Is there a motion? Senator Aronson?
I move to table line item B under new business to approve the 2025-2026 Code on Finance and Procedures until next week.
Is there a second? Senator Basilio. Any discussion? Seeing none. All right, this is something else that you can talk about to Leslie more because once again, I am very financially illiterate when it comes to nonprofits. All right, with that, we'll take it to a vote. I'm gonna say all opposed to tabling, or if there are any objections to tabling this line item till next week, the motion will pass. No objections? Perfect, the motion passes. All right, moving on to new business. We have a allocation to allocate $1,288 from unassigned contingency to leaders in engineering and computer science for LECS workshops, found on attachment 4. When reading out this motion, please give the breakdown. I understand it's long, but please give it. Senator Aronson.
Move to approve line item A under new business to allocate $1,288 from unassigned contingency to leaders in engineering and computer science for LECS workshops, $150 for electronic fun kits, $296 for soldering supplies, $192 for paper circuit supplies, $150 for reusable tablecloth, $100 for social media advertisements, $150 for reusable banner, and $250 for traditional advertisements.
Is there a second? Seconded by Senator Miyoshi. Is there any discussion? Yes, Senator Aronson.
I know Leslie's not here, but does anybody know about how much we have left in unassigned contingency? Does anybody have those numbers?
I do indeed. Let me read it right now. All right, we have, oh my God, these are big numbers. In unassigned contingency, we have $620,572. Would you like to know the other balances too, or is that sufficient? Awesome, thank you so much. Any other discussion? Seeing none, all in favor to allocate $1,288 from unassigned contingency to leaders in engineering and computer science, as read in the agenda, please raise your hand. All opposed and all abstained. The motion passes unanimously. Great. All right, moving on to line item B, to nominate and approve a Senate representative for judicial court. We currently do not have a Senate representative for judicial court, so we would like to approve one. Senator Geminiano Aragon.
I move to nominate and approve a Senate representative for judicial court.
You just nominate people.
I nominate Senator Basilio.
Thank you. Do you accept the nomination?
I respectfully decline.
Are there any? Senator Aronson,
I nominate Senator Nunez.
do you accept the nomination?
I will also respectfully decline.
Are there any other nominations? Senator Aronson,
I nominate Senator Miyoshi.
do you accept? That does not look very happy.
I respectfully decline.
That's okay. There's no issues with that. Senator Basilio,
I nominate Senator Gali.
do you accept?
I respectfully decline.
Got it. No big deal, guys. It's not like we have to do this. Senator Aronson,
I move to table this line item until next week.
That's the
while
right
there will
move.
be more senators.
thank you. Is there a second? Senator Perez. All right. Do I have to vote on the amendment and then vote on the motion? Oh, wow. Okay. Not good with Robert's rules. Where's my Attorney General? All right. Is there any discussion on this amendment? Seeing none. If there are no objections to this amendment, it will pass unanimously. Are there any objections? Seeing none, this amendment passes. Moving back to the motion as amended to table this line item to next week. Is there any discussion? We're back on the motion as amended. Seeing none. Awesome. Hope I'm doing this right. All in favor of tabling this line item to next week, please raise your hand. Okay, I think I did that right. All right, all opposed and all abstain. The motion passes unanimously. I don't like chairing, I think. This is not fun. All right, now moving on to line item C, to approve the following appointments. We have one on this agenda, Marissa Ragazza, Member at Large for External Affairs. Is there a motion? Senator Toledo Carranza.
I move to approve Marisa Rogasa for Member at Large External Affairs.
Is there a second? Senator Aronson. All right, is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor of appointing Marissa Ragazza for the Member at Large in External Affairs, please raise your hand. All opposed and all abstained. The motion passes unanimously. Fantastic. We will now move into our special meeting agenda. I don't know how this works, guys. All right, so we're gonna move into the special meeting agenda. I call the special meeting to order at 9:27 a.m., 3 minutes early. We will now go into roll call with Government Secretary Moss.
Vice President Khan,
Here.
Senator Aronson,
Here.
Senator Basilio,
Here.
Senator Gali.
Here.
Into the mic.
Here.
Thank you. Senator Gavino, Senator Jimeniano Aragon,
Here.
Senator Harris, Senator Covenia, Senator Larios, Senator Miyoshi,
Here.
Senator Nadi Pudi,
Here.
Senator Nunez,
Here.
Senator Olgan,
Here.
Senator Perez,
Here.
Senator Pulliam, Senator Toledo Carranza,
Here.
Senator Tran. Thank you. Quorum.
Thank you. We will now move on to approval of the agenda. Is there a motion? Senator Aronson.
I move to approve the agenda for our meeting on April 7th, 2025.
Is there a second? Senator Nadi Pudi. All right, is there any discussion? Seeing none. If there are no objections to the approval of the agenda, it will pass unanimously. Are there any objections? Perfect. This motion passes. We'll move past special presentation as there is none. Is there anyone here for open forum? Seeing none. All right, we'll move past reports as that is in the normal agenda and move on to new, yeah. Oh, open forum. I'm so sorry. I didn't see you. I need to wear my glasses.
I didn't raise my hand high enough, so that's on me. So good morning, everyone. I'll be very brief. For those who don't really see me much or see emails from me, my name is Lionel Lawrence. I'm the controller for Associate Students. So I apologize I missed the open forum from the original meeting, but I just wanted to give some reassurance about the annual budget. It's one of the fiduciary roles that you, and a very important role as board members of this organization to review. I want to highlight that I know our Chair of Finance, Leslie Ponce, is out of town for school, but she did send out the budget to you all with questions if you have anything. Next week, you all will be instituting a very important part of your position, and that is voting on the annual budget. If there's any questions or concerns, I want to let you know Leslie's available as well as myself. But I do want to highlight there may be some changes next week to the budget, but you will be informed. And those budgets basically talk about, we're all aware that the state of California, our U.S. economy is not doing as well, right? And so there has been some budget cuts, and we're trying to be very cognizant of those cuts and restrictions to make sure that we're doing the most for our students in terms of programming and providing services of that nature. So there may be some adjustments that we will institute. Actually, those would probably be lowering the proposed budget. And those are also based on projected enrollment numbers. This last Saturday was a great event on campus, and some of our colleagues attended, and it was to recruit and retain students to come to CSUN. And so we're hoping that our numbers go up. We're optimistic. Enrollment numbers are, I believe, 1.2% or maybe 2% higher than last year. But we just want to make sure that we're doing some long-range planning. So just wanted to introduce myself and let you know if there's any questions or concerns, any items within the budget you may not understand. That is not a problem. Come see myself or Leslie or email, connect with Denise as well. And then we could probably help arrange some kind of meeting or talk about those numbers and make sure that we have a fiscally sound budget. I am happy. Unlike some auxiliaries within the CSU, we're going to have a balanced budget. We have projected money, and so it's nothing to worry about, but we just want to make sure that we set up a plan for future leaders and your future students as they come in through these next couple of years. So just want to introduce myself, and that was all.
Thank you so much. I'm glad I looked up. That was important. All right. Is there anyone else here for open forum? I'm going to open my eyes really wide. Seeing none for real this time. Moving on to new business. We have one line item to approve the following appointment. Ashish Namedo, might be saying that wrong, so sorry, for Communications Committee. Is there a motion? Senator Aronson.
I move to approve line item I under line item A under new business to approve Ashish Namdeo for Communications Committee member.
Is there a second? Senator Nadipudi. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor of approving the following appointment, Ashish Namdeo, Communications Committee member. If you're in favor, please raise your hand. Sorry. All opposed? All abstained. Thank you. This passes unanimously. We will now move on to final roll call for this special meeting agenda. Government Secretary Moss.
Vice President Khan.
Here.
Senator Aronson.
Here.
Senator Basilio.
Here.
Senator Gali.
Here.
Senator Gavino. Senator Geminiano Aragon.
Here.
Senator Harris. Senator Covenia. Senator Larios. Senator Miyoshi.
Here.
Senator Nadipudi. Here. Senator Nunez.
Here.
Senator Olgun.
Here.
Senator Perez.
Here.
Senator Pulliam. Senator Toledo Carranza.
Here.
Senator Tran. Thank you.
We will adjourn this meeting at 9:34 a.m. It changed as I was saying it. That's crazy. Cool. Moving back to our normal agenda. I don't like special agendas. We'll start with reports, starting with the president's report, which I do have. Let me find it because I have 30 things open. All right. I don't know how to channel Katie. I think her energy is too big for me, which is a compliment. She also said she would be watching. All right. Hi, everyone. Sorry I can't be with you here today. I'm flying to Washington, D.C. for CSU Hill Week, where I'll be meeting with members of Congress to advocate for the CSU. Awesome. I know there is a lot on today's agenda, so I will go down the list of meetings I've had in the last 2 weeks. We have interviewed all candidates for the Associate Vice President of Enrollment Services and the Associated Students Executive Director. We had the first meetings of the Teaching and Learning AI Task Force work group. It just says IRA. IRA did meet. We met with the auditor from the Chancellor's office, with Chair of Finance Ponce, had an advocacy meeting with Senator Henry Stern regarding the CSU budget. He is a big supporter of higher education and CSUN. Personnel Board met. We'll be hosting an ALS event in collaboration with the University Library. Met with VP Khan and Provost Komaraju. Attended DEI event on Tuesday for the screening of a short film and queer prom. Shout out Chair Joy Knott for the events he hosted last week and to the USU for a very successful queer prom. Had a virtual CSSA plenary this weekend. That's it. I will be back in the office on April 14th, and we'll have very limited access to my email this week, and will also be on Eastern Time. Please still feel free to call, text, or email me if you all need anything. Have a great week, everyone. Sound good? That was not Katie at all. I couldn't channel it. Sorry for letting you down, Katie. Not channeling your energy. All right. Moving on to the Vice President's report. It actually falls in suit with the President's report. I will touch a little bit on the Executive Director search that is happening. We have Zoom interviewed all of the candidates that we felt we should Zoom interview, and this week we'll be conducting reference checks for all of those candidates. Data governance also met, and that was cool. We got to meet all the data stewards on campus. Did you know that was a thing? Basically every single department, or not department, like college and auxiliary has one. Tim is currently ours, if you were curious. I did also attend some of the DEI week events, and I attended Big Show. Really cool, really fun. I actually didn't know who the artist was, and I went and I had a blast. So I think that speaks volumes that, AS just provides a good time always. And that was just really awesome. I did enjoy Big Show a lot. I did not have the chance to attend C-Symposium, but I know a lot of people who did attend and presented, and I think there were over 500 student presenters, which is amazing that there's that much research going on campus. If you're ever curious about any public health research things going on, ask me, because I am part of that department, and there's actually a lot of cool things going on that directly involve students. It's really cool. One of the data sets I have actually is from, I think everybody would have been in college at that time, but it's a survey we all filled out. I can't see anybody's names, but it's funny doing research on my peers. But yeah, that concludes my report, kind of unnecessary. We will move on to Chief of Staff Ramos's report. Oh, are there any questions on my report? Fantastic. We'll now move on to Chief of Staff Ramos's report.
Alrighty, good morning, everyone. Today I will have to do Leslie's report as well. I'm not good with numbers either, so please bear with me. Alrighty, it's actually a short report today, so yay. As for my report, I had my usual check-ins with my cabinet members. Chair of DEI, since he had his Spring into Unity last week. I'm sure Some of you guys came to the events. The events were very successful. I went to your event, Kimberly. That was really cool. Pizza was good, and the short film was also really good. Other than that, also met with Chair of Legislative Affairs and again other members as well. Had my one-on-one meetings with Denise and President Karoom, and am currently looking over cabinet timesheets. That is all for me. As for Chair of Legislative Affairs, she is organizing a student panel for the Textbook Affordability Summit with CSUN Act Now and the CSUN Library. She is working on a resolution urging CSUN to support Project Rebound with Senator Harris and Vice President Khan. She is also preparing follow-up message for legislative offices meet during CHES about bills and the CSU budget cuts. She will be attending CSSA's April plenary, where CSSA supported AB 109A, a bill extending protections for pregnant or recently pregnant students. She's happy to provide more info if needed. She's also in the crowd in the back if you want to see her after. Also, if any cabinet members or senators would like to collaborate on voter engagement initiatives or event planning, please let her know. As for Chair of Elections, she's coordinating with vendors for voting days this week. Please vote this week. It is very, very important you vote. She's also improving candidate marketing requests. The Meet the Candidate event took place last week with Sundial interviewing candidates. She's also collaborating with the USU to display election promotions in computer labs. She's also working with marketing on a social media content for voting days this week, and is collaborating with Calvin and Alexander on Big Pulse setup for election voting, and sent out candidate info and an email template to all CSUN students, and is also updating the elections website. So please vote, vote, vote. Please, I should see all of your guys' vote in. Other than that, as for Chief Justice, he spent time working on a club council called, hopefully to put in internal affairs for next week. He is also working closely with several senators and individuals regarding a new judicial complaint. That's all for cabinet. As for, can I do finance now? Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Like I said, please bear with me. Worked on STAR requests and informed the organizations. As for annual budget or code of finance, the deadline to make amendments, as said before, is today. What else? She will continue on working on STARs and supplement requests. And then Finance Committee will not be taking place this week, technically. The committee will not have quorum. As for collaborations, she worked with accounting and leadership manager on STARS and Code of Finance, and will be out of office this week for Model UN conference. She will be back April 14th for her regular office hours and will be available via email. So please reach out if you have any questions towards the Chair of Finance. As for account balances, once again, please bear with me. For STAR, that will be $110,255. 1 second. Yes. For unassigned contingency, that will be $620,572. And then for the Phil Fund, that is $15,000. And then for the clubs and organizations travel is $7,091. And yeah, that is my report. Thank you for bearing with me, guys. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. I also forgot to mention in my report, I was listening and I didn't mention CSSA, which was this weekend. I sat on system-wide as per usual. We had a discussion item from the year of engagement overview from Dilsey Perez in the Chancellor's office. There was draft guidance that was shared with us. And remember, these are all public meetings, so if you want to attend in the future to learn more, you can. But there were 6 commitments shared with us from the CSU or the Chancellor's Office, and one of them, which I thought was interesting and I should share, was that the DEI language was shifted to be more actionable. I don't know, my like back of head thoughts were like, is this shifting because of government, like federal government action on DEI? Kind of timely, but it was something I did like. And then there were 9 framework strategies shared. If you want to learn them, please ask me privately, because this is not to be shared with the greater public. And then we also had a discussion item on the transgender rights for students. And there's going to be some language shift in there and references to AB 844, which was actually not passed in the legislature, but it's an interesting bill. I personally don't like it. So I'm really glad it didn't pass, but they will be referencing it to further make their point for that resolution. I shared last CSSA, and it will be voted on next CSSA. Also, CSSA elections are coming up. They're the 13th, 18th, 13th of April. It's a Sunday. It's virtual. You can attend if you want. It would be really cool for you to speak in open forum. All right. Sorry about that. I forgot a part of my report. We will be moving past the Chair of Finance report and Attorney General report and moving on to standing committee reports, starting with who is the Vice Chair for External Affairs? Jocelyn is. All right. I didn't receive a report from External Affairs. I know Senator Gavino will be here shortly, hopefully, but we will have to move past this. Moving on to Internal Affairs with Senator Basilio.
Good morning, everyone. In Internal Affairs, we are currently working on 7 referrals. A couple of them can be done quite easily by just moving around some things in the code, like standing committee codes. There are a couple we need to like really evaluate and have meetings with people before we approve them and before we send them to Senate. So we're working on those. And lastly, we will be starting the annual review process for cabinet codes this week. So that's coming. That's it. Thank you and have a good week. Oh, wait, also, there's a motion out of committee. So,
Yes. Do you want to get into that, or do you want to talk about it first?
Yeah, I can talk about it first. So I'm not sure if anybody remembers. I'll give you a refresher. In the beginning of the semester, I submitted a referral, 38 advocacy across the board that was asking for a change in Senate standing rules just to allow senators to sit in on meetings whenever asked by students. So that would include like during finals week. But there was some stuff going on with that like particular situation that would have involved like legalities. So I changed it, and I don't know if anybody read the recommendation, but I can just read it if that's okay.
Yeah, we'll move into the motion out of committee and move straight into discussion, and I'll hand the floor over to you again.
Okay, then that's it.
All right. The floor is yours. We're moving into discussion. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So I'm just going to read what I put here. When this referral was introduced, I had the idea of an added ability to the Senate Standing Rules Code that allows senators to be in meetings as requested by students when it involved deans or professors violating procedures set forth by CSUN. However, the way I had envisioned this, as pointed out by the Internal Affairs Committee, introduced space for legal troubles. The recommendation instead is to add a list of resources for students to appeal their grades and to report professors or deans. This information would be accessible throughout our AS leadership website, and underneath the list, you can mention that their Senate representatives can still help with the process so students do not feel so intimidated or alone. I feel that a list of rights students have in these meetings with deans and professors is also valuable.
Is there anyone else wanting to participate in discussion? All right, with that, we'll move into a vote. All in favor to approve the recommendation on legislative referral 2425-038, please raise your hand. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I move to amend line item
Got it.
2, section 1, to approve the recommendation on legislative referral 2024-25-38 advocacy across the board to add that the Attorney General will be in charge of this along with a Senate representative.
Thank you. Is there any discussion on the amendment? Seeing none, we will move into a vote on the. Oh, is there a second? So sorry, Senator Perez. Is there any discussion on the amendment? Seeing none for real this time. All in favor of amending line item 2 as read by Senator Basilio, please raise your hand. All opposed? All abstain. The motion passes unanimously. Thank you. Moving back to the motion as amended now. Any discussion? Seeing none. All right, cool. All in favor to approve the motion as amended, please raise your hand. All opposed and all abstained. The motion passes unanimously. All right, moving on to the University Affairs Report with Senator Aronson.
Hello, everyone. I hope everybody's doing well. I think we have like, what, 5 weeks left in the semester, something like that. So I hope everybody's doing okay, pushing through. So University Affairs last week, we were working on 7 referrals. So I'll read through all the names. So the first one is cold water in the SRC, trying to get colder water in the SRC. The second one is 24-hour vending machines, trying to get more 24-hour vending machines on campus. The third one was protecting our gardens on campus. The fourth one is football, trying to get a CSUN football team. The fifth one is exclusive Matador highlights, which is an idea for some new advertisements for our athletes. The sixth one is vending machine map, trying to make a map of the vending machines on campus so it's easier for students to find vending machines that are close to them or convenient to them. And the seventh one is add vending machines to the library. So trying to get some vending machines at the library for when the 40 and SIP closes early. So those are the referrals that University Affairs has been working on. As always, I want to give a shout out to all my committee members. They're all working super hard. They always are working super hard. And I'm really grateful to have all of their hard work. And I'm sure the students are grateful to have all of their hard work as well. So that's my report. Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Thank you. Moving on to the interim AS Executive Director report. Tim is not here today, so I will be reading his report. Shout out Productions for Big Show. That concludes his report. I loved him for that. Moving on to the University Advisor report. She is not present. She's not present. So we will move on to the Faculty Advisor report with Veda Ward, who did send her report, and I will hand it to Government Secretary Moss to read this.
Okay, so she says, "My dear senators, I have an unfortunate conflict with today's meeting, so I am submitting my report in an alternative method. I have 3 major items I wish to cover today. First, just a reminder as we come together after recognizing Cesar Chavez Day, the importance of workers' rights and being empowered through both the co-curricular as well as academic and curricular experiences you have had during your time at Cal State Northridge. Please follow up with course instructors, course mates, alums, and community mentors to understand the relationship and transition between classroom and professional practice. If you had not had a guest speaker in a class, please consider recommending one or more to your faculty instructors as we move into the final third of the semester. Second, if you or a peer is preparing for a summer field-based experience, you may wish to connect with a faculty member in advance to identify the curriculum-related content, skills, or identifying learning outcomes that might enrich the field experience and make you stand out. Should we say shine? Some connections offer scholarships, monetary incentives, job shadowing, internships, and other direct experiences to observe and analyze professional options related to the major or discipline. Third, there are remaining conferences, workshops, and campus activities to showcase and recognize our amazing Matadors. On April 5th, the provost will recognize winners of the CSUN Posium, for which I served as a judge last Friday. More than 500 students shared their research, and community high school students joined our campus community to see the growth students can make from traditional I guess it says activities, but it says activates, such as a science fair, to summarizing and presenting acquired academic knowledge as they communicate with diverse students, faculty, and campus visitors. Please reinforce with your constituents the numerous ways they may be recognized for their development in academics and campus involvement. It all goes hand in hand. Have an amazing week, Dr. Vita Ward.
Thank you for reading that. Moving on to Senator Later Kranza.
Point of personal privilege.
Granted. All right, moving on to or past information items as there are none, moving past discussion items as there are none, and moving to legislative referrals. I will be reading out all the legislative referrals that have been submitted. The president has designated where they will all go ahead of time, so if you have issues, please take it up with her. Just kidding. Actually, not just kidding. All right, starting with, do I read the number? 370. The title is Appointment Screenings. The request is have a section during Senate that requires the cabinet and senator appointees to introduce themselves and take questions from the Senate to ensure confidence that the appointees are dedicated to the organization. This was submitted by Senator Basilio, and it was suggested to go to external or internal affairs, and this will be sent to internal affairs. The next referral was submitted by Senator Perez, and the title is Recycling Bins in the USU. The request is there are a mass amount of trash cans bolted to the concrete in the USU area, but no recycling bins. This area receives some of the most foot traffic on campus and will continue to do so with the Valera Nest in production. Adding an equivalent amount of recycling bins, or at least 1-to-2 ratio of recycling to trash cans, would be consistent with CSUN's commitment to sustainability. True. Suggested to go to external or university affairs, and this will be sent to external affairs. Moving on, this next one was submitted by Senator Basilio. The title is Creation of an AS Club Council and Code. The request is to create an AS Club Council that bridges the gap between Associated Students leadership and the clubs and organizations on campus. This was suggested to go to internal affairs, and it will go to internal affairs. Next legislative referral was submitted by Senator Basilio. The title is Full Student Access to the Chicano House. To have a fully staffed Chicano house to ensure that all cultural houses have the same standards and resources to serve students with different cultures and ethnicities on campus. This would ensure that the students that identify with the Chicano House have full access to it throughout the year. This should be done in collaboration with the Mecha Club and Chicano Studies faculty. This was suggested to all three committees, and it will be sent to external affairs. The next referral was submitted by Senator Nati Pudi. It is titled Introduce $5 Menu Plan. The request is a $5 meal plan having balanced quality of nutrition can help students on campus to dine in frequently. This was suggested to internal or university affairs, and this will be sent to external affairs. The next referral was submitted by Senator Miyoshi, titled Lower sorry, not titled that. That's a Senate seat. Titled Addressing Accessibility of On-Campus Facilities, Services, and Architecture. The request is to examine and address potentially imperative improvements to campus accessibility beyond what is considered to be quote unquote compliant with current ADA standards. This was suggested to go to University Affairs and it will go to External Affairs. The next one was submitted by Senator Miyoshi, titled Sustainable Divestment from Entities with Conflicting Practices or Values. The request is to have the campus divest from and seek viable alternatives to affiliated companies, organizations, and members whose documented values or practices consistently/greatly contradict the campus's stated mission to, quote, affirm the worth and personal dignity of every member of the university community, end quote, specifically on the following forms of affiliation. Number one, on-campus sale or promotion of any of their product services which either are not mandatory for any person to meet their existential, educational, medical, social, mental, or emotional needs, or is necessarily anti-ethical to these needs.
Antithetical.
Antithetical, thank you. Never seen that word before. Good vocabulary. To these needs, or have accessible and adequate alternatives from mission-aligning entities. Number two, permitting the continued on-campus presence of any of their businesses with documentations present instances of workplace abuse/exploitation or union busting practices they have failed to sufficiently clarify or address. Them or their representatives when their actions/statements on campus advocate, encourage, or otherwise demonstrate a rejection of this mission statement. This was suggested to go to External Affairs, and it will go to External Affairs. This next one was also submitted by Senator Miyoshi, titled Compact Parking and Permits for On-Campus Parking Spaces. To implement a greater portion of both DP-only, disabled place card, and all-access, quote-unquote, compact parking spaces in all floors of every parking areas on campus with corresponding permits which can only be associated with vehicles that are verifiably small enough to fit within these spaces. Compact permits, which can be of lower cost of a standard permit of the same type, encouraging the usage of smaller vehicles which are greatly more energy efficient, potentially allowing even more compact parking spaces in the future without needing to construct any more parking structures/areas. This was suggested to go to University Affairs, and it will go to External Affairs. This next one is also submitted by Senator Miyoshi, titled Score Voting for Future AS Elections. The request is to consider the adoption of a, quote, score voting, end quote, or adjacent system for AS elections post-2025. This was suggested to go to Internal Affairs, and Internal Affairs, it will go. That is it for our referrals. Are there any announcements? Senator Basilio.
So the announcement is regarding the referral you read out about the Chicano House. This was sent to me by the Mecha Club, so I'm just going to read out what they think about this. As a student organization, we Mecha demand that the California State University Northridge provides a Chicano House with a fully staffed house similar to that of other cultural resource facilities located on campus. Currently, the Chicano House is unable to fully operate and provide students with the proper resources and space for success. This limitation restricts our ability to offer the student body with access to the house outside of general body meetings. To ensure equity, we believe it is imperative to hold all cultural houses to the same standard. The lack of investment from the university into the Chicano House is evident in the unequal distribution of funds from the CSUN campus quality fee for the academic year of 2024 to 2025. The Black House/Black Resource Center and Mentoring Program received $176,795, and the APIDA Resource Center and Asian American Studies Pathway Project, in parentheses, AASPP, was awarded $121,133, while the Chicane House received $0. As a Hispanic serving institute, we demand that the university takes immediate steps towards rectifying the disparity and invests in the success and support of its Latina and non-white Hispanic students. Latina bodies are more than just a statistic or a dollar sign. We demand respect, recognition, and equal treatment to succeed and be seen on campus. Our presence deserves to be valued and acknowledged, not just exploited for institutional gain. In order to ensure that the Chicana House is able to provide students with the same level of support as other cultural houses, we are demanding the following from the university. A part-time student assistant to oversee daily operations of the house and provide support to our students, the proper allocation of funds necessary to ensure the success of the Chicana House, and an equitable and inclusive approach from the university in supporting all cultural houses, acknowledging the importance of each facility and promoting a diverse campus environment.
Thank you. I'm excited to see the work that the committee does. Are there any other announcements? Senator Gavino.
Permission to be recognized.
Granted, just so you can say you were here during roll call. Just kidding. Any other announcements? Senator Olgan?
As the April is the Sexual Assault Awareness Month, there's an exhibit at CSUN UC Soul Center for, can I use yours, please? Thank you. Great. So as you all know, the April is Sexual Assault Awareness Month, and there's an exhibit at CSUN USU Soul Center for month of April. Please, if you have a time, just go and see the exhibit and read the stories and just be aware of what is actual sexual awareness and people gone through. Thank you.
Any more announcements? Thank you for sharing. Senator Gavino.
So I mistakenly sent my report to Vice Chair Harris, who's not here today, so I will actually read it now. I'll read it as if I was not here because that's what's written down, so apologies for the confusion. But hello, everyone. Apologies for my absence once more. I'm currently attending to duties for a university search and screen committee. In the past 2 weeks, External Affairs was able to appoint a new vice chair, Senator Harris, who isn't here today, but congratulations. In addition, we will be voting, well, we did vote for our External Affairs member at large, which I heard passed, so that is great. I look forward to welcoming them to the committee. We currently have 4 legislative referrals. I've heard that we've been assigned much more, though. Our referral about issues surrounding international students was tabled indefinitely, as our communication with the International and Exchange Student Center was deemed sufficient. However, with recent developments, including the revoking of student visas for several University of California students, I expect this issue to be brought up again, and if not re-referred, at least brought up in discussion. So please let me know if you have any questions, and feel free to stop by our meeting Wednesdays, 4 p.m., USU Executive Boardroom, like usual. Thank you.
Thank you. Senator Perez, did you have your hand up?
It was in response to Senator Olgan. Can you repeat the location of the exhibit one more time?
Yes, so exhibit name is What Were You Wearing? And the location is USU Soul Center. And this is whole month.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any more announcements? I have an announcement. It's actually Public Health Week as well. So there are 4 events on campus this week. I'm just going to send the flyer instead of reading out the dates and what they all are, but they're actually really interesting. One of them is a QPR training, which I have sent in our group chat before. I think QPR is an amazing skill to have and to get certified in. You can get certified for adults and youth. I'm unsure which programs they'll be providing, but definitely consider it if you have time. QPR is suicide prevention, or like helping people who may be contemplating suicide. So yeah, very helpful. Seeing no other announcements though. Great. I'm going to move to final roll call with Government Secretary Moss.
Vice President Khan.
Here.
Senator Aronson.
Here.
Senator Basilio.
Here.
Senator Gali.
Here.
Senator Gavino.
Here.
Senator Geminiano Aragon,
Here.
Senator Harris, Senator Covenia, Senator Larios, Senator Miyoshi,
Here.
Senator Nadi Pudi,
Here.
Senator Nunez,
Here.
Senator Olgan,
Here.
Senator Perez,
Here.
Senator Pulliam, Senator Toledo Carranza, Senator Tran. Thank you.
Thank you. Before I adjourn, I want to thank everyone for bearing with me. I don't like chairing. I am going to say that with my full chest. All right, and I will adjourn this meeting at 10:09 a.m. Thank God.